John, congratulations on a successful title defense at heavyweight. So I guess, like you talked at Media Day, fighting in Madison Square Garden was important to you, fighting in New York, fighting Stipe. So now that you got through it in like such impressive fashion, I guess, what are the emotions now?
As-tu entendu la foule? Gladiator 2.
I feel really, really great. I haven't watched the fight yet, but based on my team's reactions, they said, John, you performed great. Being out there, you want things to go perfect, and nothing ever goes perfect in the cage. You're not going to land every shot. You're going to get hit. But I feel really good. I just can't wait to watch it. Yeah. It's hard to say what my reaction is. I've won a lot of world championships, so it's a very familiar feeling. But I am very, very grateful. I'm so grateful.
And you said not everything goes perfect in there, so I guess relative to the game plan you guys put together and how it played out, is that relatively how you saw it? Like the trip at the beginning, the elbows, the 12-6 we saw in there?
Yeah. The coaches definitely wanted me to find that 12-6 elbow. I wish I could have landed it more legit. Stipe did a really good job with his defense. And the bottom, the trip was completely unexpected. It was a takedown that just kind of came to me in the moment, and I was grateful to have been able to pull that off. One thing that I'm really excited about was that spinning back kick. Yeah. That was the one thing I'm really excited about. I have amazing coaches. I have Brandon Gibson, Greg Jackson, Coach Alex, Coach Aaron. I'm just naming some of my striking coaches right now, but I really want to give a shout out to my Taekwondo coach, a guy named Paige Bates from Albuquerque, New Mexico. His family owns Bates Taekwondo in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We started about 6 months ago. We started doing the spinning back kick. He would come over to my house 3 days a week, and I've worked that same kick from both stances 3 hours a week for several months. And Bruce Lee says that he doesn't fear the man that knows 1,000, 10,000 kicks, but the man who has worked one kick 10,000 times. And I put a lot of work in with that spinning back kick, and it's getting faster and more unpredictable. There's really no tell when it's coming, and it's a devastating shot. I didn't hit Stipe's liver. I hit him on the opposite side, but it sends shockwaves to a person's body. It can break a rib. It's just a really powerful shot. So I'm really proud of landing that shot after so many hours of working it. Shout out to you, Paige.
And then throughout the fight, especially at the beginning, it looked like that jab was really frustrating him. And then the kicks to the body, just by the time you finished it, it looked like it had taken its toll. He was getting slower and slower and slower. Was that just the plan to just like methodically break him down until he just can't really out of his element?
Yeah, my goal was to I really wanted to Stipe. He beat Daniel Cormier with that left hook to the liver. He did it over and over again, and I really wanted to hit him with that same shot. But once I felt his punching power, I didn't want to lean to the right. My left. I didn't want to be by his right side at all, because catching one of his straight rights could end your night. And so instead of working that left hook to the body like we had planned, I worked teeping to the body and the spinning kicks and jabbing to the body, and it worked out great. I watched his DC fight, and we noticed that Stipe can take punishment. He's a nightmare. He's a nightmare. You can hit him and hit him and hit him, and he shows no emotion. And I think that's why he's a 6-time world champion. But yeah, we put him down, and I'm grateful.
And then Dana was in here, and you said if the Tom fight, you want to be well compensated. Dana said his quote was, "He will be, but he knows you're going to disappear. He probably won't hear from you. We won't hear from you. And then when you want to talk, you'll quote emerge and talk with Dana and Hunter." So I guess what is your plan moving forward for the next few weeks?
I'm not really worried about the Tom fight. I'm really worried about the Pereira fight. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do, and I think if the UFC wants to have me back, then I think that's the fight they'll make. I've been really clear about my intentions. That's what I want, and I just feel like anybody would understand at this point. Like, I'll retire the heavyweight belt if I have to. It's like, dude, give the guy what he wants at the end of the day, And I'm not talking to Dana directly. I feel like I'm at a place now where You know, like I want to take what I find to be super fights. I don't want to fight dangerous up-and-comers anymore. I want to fight dangerous, established champions. So Tom can have the heavyweight championship. I don't really care about it. That my value doesn't lie in belts anymore. I've created something much bigger. I want Pereira.
Dana was in here and he said that he would really like not to make the Pereira fight, but if you and Alex did hound him, he would consider it. But he said that realistically, that's not a fight he wants to see because he thinks your skills with the wrestling and the size would sort of outweigh what Pereira has to offer. I'm curious what you think about Dana's take on that.
Man, styles mix matchups, and I'm sure Pereira's knocked out many heavyweights in his day. I mean, he has a knockout power that transcends, like, it's bigger than weight. Pereira's special. And for me, it'd just be worth my while fighting against Pereira. You know, people can call me a duck and a chicken. I'm going to go home and cash a massive check. And so the duck and chicken thing is kind of funny. Yeah, that's kind of what I want. And if it doesn't line up, then professing my love for Jesus in front of everybody tonight, and telling the world how proud I am to be an American champion, and fighting in front of my president, man. If that was my last fight ever, then I'm cool with that. That was the way to do it. I did the Donald Trump. That was the way to do it, man. So I think one of the really good things about negotiating is being willing to walk away from a deal. And that's the deal that I want. And if that's not what the fans want, then I guess I'll say sayonara.
You know, obviously you mentioned about the disrespect Stipe has shown you, and you mentioned the clip of him talking about your children. There's been a clip going around online of him on a podcast, I think, with Rampage Jackson. Was that the clip you were referring to?
No. It was him in his living room, and I don't remember exactly how it was said, but pretty much what he was saying was, when my kids look back on me and my past, at least my kids will never think that I'm an asshole. And the MMA fan base, they're good. I know they're going to find it. And I wouldn't make that up. And even if I did make it up, it's the fight business. If I need to hype myself up, I'll hype myself up. But the truth is, he did say it. He did call me a bitch. And tonight I made him pay for it.
Obviously, in media days, there's a lot of sound bites is what everyone likes hearing. The big sound bite this week was you saying you wouldn't want to do business with Tom Aspinall. You said he's an asshole. A lot of people in the media kind of laughed about that, and even the U.S. broadcast was saying, like, what is he talking about? Tom Aspinall's the nicest guy on the planet. He never disrespects Jon. He says nice things about Jon.
There's a lot of people.
So what specifically has he said or done to make him an asshole?
There's just a lot of people on his nuts right now. And
But what has he done, though?
Coming up with Jon Jones T-shirts, buying a little duck, and just the little shit that he does. He's annoying to me. And that's my own personal. He annoys me. I get to you guys, you find it entertaining, but I find him annoying, and I just don't like him. And at the end of the day, if I give him the opportunity to fight me, I want to be so compensated. I want to say it, I want that fuck you money, honestly. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. Or else my life is perfect without him. I don't need him at all. And he needs me. And that's a good place to be in a negotiation.
I know you said that you'd be willing to walk away from negotiations if your demands aren't met. I know you haven't made those demands yet, but have you set a timeline for when you want those negotiations to have been concluded by?
I don't even want to call them demands. You know, I don't want to put the wrong energy in the room when it comes to Dana. I respect Dana so much. He changed my life completely. I don't want to call it demands. I'm not demanding anything. I'm not trying to run anything. I'm not trying to boss anyone. I'm just clearly like letting people know my intentions. And whenever Dana wants me to fight is when I'll fight, you know, as long as we can come to an agreement, you know. I really want to make that clear. Like, I don't want to go there with the word demand. Respectfully, Dana and I have been closer now than we've ever been before. And as a young man, well, not even a young man anymore, as a man, I want to respectfully have a conversation with him and see if we see eye to eye. And if we do, I'll fight whenever he tells me to.
Okay. And
Two very quick questions. Is there a dollar figure that equals fuck you money?
A very, very high number. It's going to be a very high number, for sure.
Don't want to define very high yet.
No, I'm not, I've learned over the years not to really get into finances publicly. But I want to be compensated to the point where if I won or lost, that it really wouldn't matter.
So Francis Ngannou paid a little tribute to what you said after his fight. I think he came on social media. He says, Jones looked great out there tonight. Congrats, Johnny boy. I see you. Is that a fight that maybe interests you? Like, obviously, Pereira is number one on your list, but is that one that maybe interests you more than even Tom?
I'm here to talk UFC business tonight.
So I mean, Turki Al-Sheikh has been able to get these kinds of fights done in boxing. Maybe he can make it happen in the UFC.
Whatever Uncle Dana tells me.
I also wanted to ask as well, because obviously you're someone who's considered, the greatest of all time in your sport. Another GOAT was on last night in Dallas. Were you able to catch any of the Mike Tyson fight, and what was your thoughts on him getting back in the ring at 58?
I did catch the fight. It was hard to see him so old. Roy Jones Jr. kept saying it, man, those legs aren't working. It was really hard to see. He really sold it, with the highlight videos of him training and his physique. I wish he went and showed us his ass. That was a little wild. I'm like, Mike, you didn't have to do that. Mike's a freak, I bet, dude. I'm like, Mike, you old nasty old man. You old dirty bastard, you. It was hard to watch, but I respect him so much for getting in there. That was the cool part. It's just, I'm sure, they compensated him very well. He got to give a bunch of fans what they wanted, which is just to be alive to see him compete. And for that part alone, I thank him. I'm sure a lot of us thank him.
And any respect to Jake for not, because I mean, when Holyfield came back, Belfort went and just kind of iced him in very quick fashion, and I think Jake probably could have done that later on in the fight, but he opted to let Mike get to the bell.
I don't think Jake gave him mercy. I think Jake played it smart. I think that's what it was. I think Jake knows that you're winning. Let's stop while you're ahead. Let's coast. Let's get through this fight. Because Mike can drop anyone with one shot. His legs weren't working, but that upper body was still moving, and those punches were still swinging. And I didn't view it as Jake giving him mercy. Jake coasted through that, like an intelligent fighter would.
I'm fucking coming for you!